All right, there we go. All right, good morning, everybody. We are ready to take a dive into Canva this morning. Hopefully last week, those that couldn't make it got to see the introduction to Canva and YouTube and how it can tie together and how it can make your life a lot easier and save you a ton of money on your marketing. So today we're going to focus on diving into Canva a little bit, just kind of again, it's more of an introductory level to get you started. There'll be some tips and tricks that I have that hopefully some of you novice Canva users are not aware of, that you might pick up a few tricks here today. Well, let's go ahead and dive right into it. Let me share my screen. There we go. All right. So, and I adjusted my cursor so that you guys can actually see it. Yeah. You ever get on those webinars where people are trying to show you where to click on things and it's like, where's the mouse? Well, hopefully you can see my mouse. I made it a bright green and made it a lot larger so that you can easily follow along. So getting started in Canva, this is your start screen here. Okay, you log in. You can do this. Most of what I show you today, you can be doing with the free version of Canva. Now, I have the paid version. I think it's well worth the investment. It's minimal cost. I think it's $120 for the year, which is nuts. And you can pay monthly as well. I think it's $12, $13 a month. But I'll tell you, anything you can think of that you want to create, you can do it here in Canva. So here you can start up at the top here. You've got whiteboards, you got presentations. I made a ton of presentations. It does a fabulous job with creating slides and whatever kind of presentation you want to make. Get all your social media here, already pre-sized and ready to go. All you need to do is fill in the blanks and get yourself started. Videos. They've recently added a video editor and I'm just learning it myself, but that's something we'll probably bring in on a future class so that we can talk more about videos and editing. I did show you last week how you can easily create a video in here, real simple. What I'm trying to get my handle on right now is how can I import a video and then do the editing right there so that I don't have to have another software program to do my editing. So I'm in the midst of figuring that out. All your print products, whatever you want to do for printing, you can even design websites in here. It's just phenomenal. And infographics. I mean, infographics are a great tool, a great thing to have to use. You can use it in your blogs, in your emails, in your social media posts. And you know, people are very visual. So having an infographic can be very informative as opposed to writing everything out. Do it in pictures and it's a great tool to use. So going back to my starting point, okay, which is my For You. So my For You has things that I might want to try up here as recommendations. And then it has all my recent designs. And so, you know, my latest one, I opened this morning because I wanted to, I was looking for some things to share with you. So when you're on social media, I'm sure you see ads for different things to download and maybe try out, or maybe not. I mean, I get slammed all the time with all these shiny pennies and things that you want to do. So I'll give you an example. Like here, I was able to download a whole bunch of movie lessons, key lessons from different movies. Yeah. And all I had to do was kind of make it my own. In fact, this one's not my, does not have my, like, all right, so like this one here, this was all quotes. So I was able to just upload already pre-made templates. And all I did was I just added my my name and my mastering your mental wealth, just because that's what I'm promoting, right? And that's where I would post these type of quotes. And so all I had to do was just, I'd take one, I would just right click, I'd copy it, and then I just would go down and paste it on each and every one. It ended up being just put in the same exact place. It's the same colors. Everything kind of blends in. So it's real simple to use. I paid, I think I paid like $7. It was either $7 or $9. I got 100 of these templates. And I got 100 motivational quotes. I got 100 of the movie series, and then I got 100 of books, lessons from books. So this is same type of thing. I just uploaded all the templates and just added my name and my mastering the mental wealth. So so real simple, right? These are out there that you can pick up and buy. I got this one here that I wanted to share. This is home staging. This was a freebie on a webinar or something. So it's a home staging checklist. So I can go ahead and edit it here, put my own name and everything. I can change this around. I can edit this whatever way I want. Same with this here. I can change out the photo if I want something more Florida looking. But you know, the text is already there. I can go through and I can change the text if I want, put my contact information and so on. So, I mean, it's a nice looking brochure. And then I go ahead and put our picture and you know, information here on the last page. So it's a nice brochure that could be printed, could be emailed, whatever you want to do with it. Real easy. I mean, these things are available online, and the cost is minimal if you buy pre-made templates. But you can use the search bar, which the search bar is pretty phenomenal. So let's just search real estate. And you've got templates for everything. Whatever you want to do, you have templates here. So you do have filters over here on the side where you can isolate more, you know, if you want to try to narrow it down a little bit. Now, real estate is very general, but you can see everything that you need to do. You know, here's a video. I mean, it's you know, it's you got postcards, you got social media, you got flyers. You know, maybe you just want to do, you know, maybe you just want to do an open house promotion. Well, here you got all kinds of things for open house. Maybe you want to do just listed. So you got all kinds of media for just listed. It could be social media posts, could be postcards, could be flyers, you know, whatever it is that you're looking for. You can easily find those templates here ready to go. And all you need to do is just say, you know what? I just pick something quick and easy here. Here we go. Just listed. So now every component of this piece can be edited. You know, I might decide, well, you know what, I don't like this photo. You know, maybe I want to go ahead and choose another photo. I come over here and say, you know, maybe I want a luxury kitchen.
Or the pink pumpkin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, you can do that too, right? We're in October. You know,
I'm just
we
kidding.
can, but no, I'm serious. Look, you want a pumpkin? There we go. We're gonna come up with all kinds of pumpkins, and then it's gonna add. So I search pumpkin. You can search pumpkin pie, pumpkin patch, Halloween, apple pie, fall, Thanksgiving. So it gives you suggestions based on your original search. So what you can do with this is just endless. Now you could also you can change this around. You can do all whatever it is that you want to do with that. Now you can come back here. Maybe you just want a flyer that has all your information and everything like that. So maybe I want to go ahead and change this photo. I'm going to be like, well, I already uploaded some of my photos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go down and find, because whenever I do things like this, it's always me and Valerie, because she makes me look better.
Oh, very cute, dear. You get bonus points today.
I was gonna say, wow.
And there it is. It's all the way down. It's all the way down at the bottom. Okay.
We uploaded it so long ago.
Yeah. All right. So I thought, you know what?
Okay, Paul, here's my challenge. What you're doing next. Okay, there you go.
You take your picture and you drag it into the circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you.
Yeah. I thought it would have
Yeah,
already landed there, but yeah, you can drag it.
Oh,
into
there
the
you
circle.
go.
Yeah. And then you can do the adjustment by double clicking it. Okay. So it's that simple.
Double click. Okay.
Yeah, you got to double click it, and that'll give you the crosshairs, and then you can drag it to get it centered. So, and as you can see, we have a lot of stuff in here. I've been trying to keep up with deleting our uploads as we use them, and won't be reusing them because it does build up and it kind of clutters in here. But maybe I want to do the just listed, or maybe I want to just say newly listed. Oh, well, it doesn't fit on that line. So I could just go ahead and expand that bar. I'm still not used to looking at this big mouse. Okay. All right. So it's not going to fit based on that side, the size of the font. So now I've got to go ahead and just shrink it down a little bit to make it fit in that same box. All right. So maybe with this, I also want to give some sort of, maybe I want to throw some elements into the mix of this. And I'm just doing this on this one because I probably should have started from the beginning, but under elements, you've got all kinds of images, right? These are little graphics that you can use, but it's like, wow. I mean, how do you know? You have so many of them, right? It's just like, wow. Now, if I was, in fact, let me do this. Let me go ahead and let me create a new one. I'm going to go ahead and do a Facebook post. Let's go to social media, and we're just going to create a blank Facebook post. That way I can kind of start with a blank canvas here. So I'm going to start with, I don't want to, I do pictures all the time, but this time I really don't want to do a picture. So I'm going to start with something that'll be good for a background. So I'm going to do a search for what's called a flat lay. And a flat lay gives you those backgrounds that are just kind of like flat on the canvas, and that you can, put things over the top to do what you want to do. Well, look at this. We got Christmas coming up. It's like, wow, okay, that's pretty cool. So this would make a good GIF because it's you know, it's sparkly. It's like a video. But at the same time, it's like, well, you know, it's not fitting here on the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and right click and then set as the background. Now, it appears that I've lost the video setting on it, but it was the image that attracted me. When I looked at this, I didn't realize it was a video at the time. But if you look too on the images, when you see the crown, that means it's for the pro Canva. Now you'll see these in the free Canva, but you can't use them in the free. You got to be a paid subscriber to use what's called the pro stuff. And actually, it looks like, yeah, most of what's in here, they all have the little crowns. So there are some without, but it does give you the pro gives you a lot more options with things that you want to do. So
That's how they get you.
yeah, well, you know, sure, they want to suck you in. But look, you don't need to be sucked in. The free version is pretty amazing by itself. So, but at the same time, it's worth paying the minimal amount of money, because you could do just about everything you want and need right here in Canva. So maybe I knew that was a video, and you know, and trying to make it as a background, I'm like, well, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and I wanted to go back as a video, so I'm going to detach it, and now it's back there as a video. And maybe I'll be like, wow, you know what, maybe I need to change my template, because maybe I need to do a video template if I'm going to actually create a video, because this is a Facebook post. So I can actually come up here too, and I can edit the video. You know, I can use a background remover. There's all kinds of things. We're not going to get into video today, but there's all kinds of things that you can do with that.
That said there was a beta program.
A what, Cindy?
That last one said it was a beta program.
Did
So-
it? I didn't even pay attention. Video is new to Canva. Their whole video editing and everything, that's all new. I think you were able to kind of create some videos before, you know, using still photos, but now that it's like full-blown video. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to decide that, well, I want to create a post, and I really don't want to change to a video, so I'm just going to discard that, and I'm going to go ahead and just choose, you know, something else here. Let's just go with, there we go. We're going to go ahead and use this here. And we're going to set that as our background. And so now maybe I want to go ahead and just put, you know, I can create, actually, you know what I'll do is I'll put, I'll just add some text to the phone. So I'm gonna go ahead and change this, change the color, because I'm gonna need it white. Sometimes the text box does not like to follow direction. There we go. So maybe you just want to be able to put something. You want to be able to have something on the screen, right? Just make it look like it's a phone with a text message, or you can insert a photo or anything like that. All right. Maybe maybe what you want to do too is you want to go ahead and there's one other thing to search, and that's called mockup. Oops, hold on. That's under elements.
Did you learn this by watching videos?
Yeah, some of it's been by trial and error. But yeah, I follow along a lot of different people, and I get their tips and tricks.
Nice.
Yeah. And so like a lot of times I'll sit and if I see a video that I watch, that I want to watch, I might kind of put it on a 1.5 speed, and then slow it down when I get to something that is of interest to me or something I haven't seen or heard before. And then I'll, kind of watch. So I might get 1 or 2 new things out of each video. But it's because it is very time consuming, and I don't like to, watch an hour-long video to get 2 little nuggets out of it. That, to me, that's not the best use of my time. So I might even have a video running in the background while I'm maybe clearing out emails, and I'm listening, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, let me go ahead back to that, and I can just, rewind it a little bit and go back to that particular pointer that was important to me. And so that's where I've learned about the flat lay and the mock-up. I mean,
Nice.
who would have ever thought to look for that? But, somebody that teaches his stuff had that in her tips and tricks. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool. So you never know when you might want to use something like that. And here you search mock-up, but then you've got different kinds of mock-ups. And again, these are things that you can use if you want to go ahead and put, you can use it as a background, and you want to go ahead and display something on the computer screen. Just because that would make a fun looking image, right? You're just trying to create your own thing. It's rare for me to, go completely from scratch. I do like to use templates. And as you probably noticed in the beginning, I mean, I got all kinds of templates here that I have used. Especially, I shared with you last week my YouTube thumbnails. I mean, that all started with that very first red template, and then it just kind of blossomed from there. Some of these I do from scratch because I just import an image from the video or something related to the video, and then I add the photos on top of it. So, and that's another thing too, is that as you build these, if you're trying to remember where you put stuff, you could just hover over the template that you use, and it's going to show you everything that's in there. As you can see, it's rotating around on every template, every thumbnail that I've created in there. You can create flyers. This is a flyer that I use for the education directors and other people that want my CE courses and so forth. So you can see here, I just took a template, and this actually was a resume template, and applied my colors. So like when I want to go ahead and edit this, I come up here to the color chart, and here are the colors from my logo. So this is when you upload or create a logo and you set it in there as part of your branding, those colors will follow you, so that you can keep the branding. Now, that's one thing I haven't been good at with a lot of my all these social media posts that I've created or the templates that I've used and updated. I didn't stick to my colors. I stuck to the colors that they came with. Only because life's too short. I'm like, I can't go through and edit hundreds of graphics. So all I wanted to do was just, all I had to do is copy once and just paste all the way through, and was able to get all those social media posts taken care of. So for me, it's more about saving time and so forth. Now, I do want to show you one thing that is, let me get back to one of these. Yeah, that's another thing too, is every time you open something, it opens up in a new tab, and, you just kind of have to remember where you put certain things. So maybe, let's see here. Yeah, let's go back into this one.
Yeah, it's easy to have 10 different tabs open.
Yeah, it really is. So maybe I want to go ahead and just create something. Maybe I want to create a graph. and this is interesting because I actually just learned this one. Was it yesterday or this morning? But if you click on the image that you want, and there's what's called a magic key. And I can't show you, but the magic key is right down here on the keyboard. It's the / and boom. You got shortcuts to anything that you might be looking for to create on here. And what I love is right here, create a bar chart.
Nice.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, I've been looking for something like this. I would go into the images and start doing a search for bar charts and everything. And you'd find all kinds of them, but you can't adjust them. This one, you can. You've got over here is your data and you've got settings. Okay. So you just come in here and you set your data. Maybe.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
Fantastic. Good job, Paul.
This is probably one of the, the best things that I've found here in recent times, because it's like, man, all you got to do is it's the / And the funny thing is that in the video that I watched, she referred to it as the /. It's not the /, it's the /. So you need to know that. And that's the one that's on your lower level of your keys. And
I'm
so
not
now
going to show my kids this program.
there you go. Yeah.
No, I'm not going to
Oh,
show
you're
it
not?
to them. No.
You think they'll be cheating on their homework?
I have a friend of mine who teaches Excel professionally to
Okay.
corporations, and I should tell him about it. He'll like that.
Yeah,
you just jumped
absolutely.
over that.
Well, but you know what? If somebody is that proficient in Excel, it's probably easier for them to just create the graphs in Excel and go that way. But for
I'll
those
stick to
of
this
us,
way.
yeah, for those of us that know how to maybe import and export using CSV files and maybe entering numbers into Excel, I know I don't know how to manipulate Excel to do all that it's capable of. I mean, that's a phenomenal tool, but there is a lot to know, a lot to learn on that one. This is just
nice.
so simple. Look, we're real estate agents, and we need simple, we need quick. And bar graphs are a really important thing to use when it comes to creating displays, because we utilize the state thing. When I did my market update, I don't know if you guys got to see that. I posted it in the Do Crew Facebook page.
Yeah,
But I went ahead and I shared that with you just so you can see what I did, right? Because I know, Cindy, you had questioned about making a market update video. And so what I did was I took Brad's video, I watched it, and then I took his transcript, and which is there for you taking, right? And so Valerie made some edits and changes for me. And then she ran the data in and created some graphs for me. So
yeah, and sun stats, that's the word.
The sun stats, yeah, using the sun stats to create the graphs, which is great, right? It's a great tool for us to have and to use, and it makes some great graphs. But now that I have this, I'm like, these are the graphs we'll use moving forward when I do another market update, because I think that's a little bit more visual that people will relate to, as opposed to just a squiggly line going up and down. I think the bar graphs is more of a great visual tool. Now, you can also create this, as you can see here. You can upload, if you have an Excel spreadsheet, you can upload a CSV file that has all this data that will input into your graph. So if you have something, and in fact, that might be something we can do from SunStats, because I think you can export in a CSV file, and then
I don't know.
Then maybe we can import it into here. We'll have to try that and see.
Yeah,
because,
if not, we can manipulate it and just dump it in here fairly quickly. So
yeah, so that's something definitely worth looking at. So, let's see. So a few other things that you can search in here that I think are useful tools. We did real estate, we did open house. You got just listed, just sold, testimonials. You want to go ahead and create a social media testimonial post. Well, I mean, look at all the options you got. I mean, you got thousands of options. So you can pick and choose whatever you want. And then what I would do is, if you pick one, you use the same one over and over again. So that way, you create the background, you create it with, you can make it your colors. And then all you have to do is, let's just say, this one is simple, but with the picture. So, you come in here and you just say, I prefer blue. And, so I'm going to go ahead and have a blue background. I'll change the picture to me. And now this is going to be, this is now going to be my branding. So now what you can do is go ahead and duplicate. And so now all I got to do is just change what the testimonial is, change the text, change the name. And so you can just rinse and repeat, right? That's what's really cool. Once you get this set up, you've now got your own template, which is what I did. If you remember in my thumbnails, right? I started, this was my very first thumbnail. I took this template and then it's like, well, it's already formatted for what I need. So now I would just duplicate it. And it's like, well, I didn't want to all make it with the same background. And there's a few others that I've used this background and kind of altered it a little bit. But, maybe I just want to go ahead and add a page. So now I'm just going to go ahead and go, boom, add a page. So it comes clean slate, ready to go. And so now, well, look at all these templates here. I can just find a new one if I want. But I actually do take images of properties, images of people, images, that relate to whatever I need the thumbnail for. But look at all the ideas I've got right here of what I can do. And these thumbnails are what's catchy. They catch people's eyes. They're bright. They're and people are drawn to them. As tacky as maybe they might seem, as sometimes, look, that's what's grabbing people's attention. So, but as you can see, I mean, I used to just keep adding to the bottom, but then it's like, wow, it's getting too long. So now I just started at the top and I add a new page here, and so now my newer ones are staying up at the top as opposed to having to scroll all the way down to the bottom. So, in fact, this one here, I think, I made this thumbnail for a video. I actually got them they agreed to make a testimonial video. I've only got 2 people that were willing to create a video for me as testimonial, but that's okay. We've got 2 and that'll continue to grow. Not everybody's comfortable with doing the video. So, but whenever you can get that, I mean, that's great. So this was, we shot the video during the walkthrough before settlement while they're, happy as can be and ready, willing, and able to say or do anything to help us out. So, so that's something to keep in mind. So who's got some tips and tricks that you've got that maybe I didn't touch upon here today? I know Ellie had to jump off and she's probably got a ton of them, but who else is using Canva now that can add to what we talked about here today?
Go ahead, Elliot. You're so quiet. Bill, it's your turn too.
Yeah, I don't do much. I know that pretty much at kindergarten level, Nikki, our marketing coordinator, she uses it all the time. She has the pro, and I'm guilty of not paying more attention to how she uses Canva.
Okay, well, that's good. Look, if you've got somebody that can handle this for you, even better. And you know, there are people that do this for a living that will create all this stuff for you so that you don't have to, you know, and that's a good thing. You know, I'd love to be able to pawn all this stuff off to like a virtual assistant or something, and there are some out there. We're getting close to, you know, getting to that point, but I also need to have a good understanding of it in order to be able to direct others to do what I want them to do, so that we're not wasting a lot of time, you know, and have them come back with stuff that's just not, you know, not what I want it to be. But yeah, you know, look, this is not just a, you know, go in, get it done, and you're done. This is something that is time consuming. It's creative. And so you've got to, you know, the better you get at it, the quicker you'll be able to turn things around. Like, you know, I do my thumbnails, I turn them around pretty quick, unless, you know, unless I go in, I'm like, I'm really not sure what I want to create as a thumbnail. Then it takes me a little bit more time trying to figure out what's going to be the best image to use as the background and what do I want it to say, because, you know, it's all important on you know, how that thumbnail is going to present itself.
I found that there is a group opportunity through there where you can, for example, if we were all one team and we all had the same logo, we could all share it, or we all had the same November stats we wanted to share with our logo or whatnot. That's a nice option.
Yeah, so like, yeah, we have the a team setting on ours, so we can actually share this, and we were set up with somebody else, and sharing some of their stuff, which we've since left that, but you can do that, right? You can set up a team where other people can log in and share what you're doing. So that is an opportunity, you know, if you partner up with somebody that's in your office, and you know, you share the broker logo, you know, you can even share the expense of the program. But you know, as you can see, I mean, it's just any number of things that you can do. This was a seller's guide. Let me see here. Yeah, I don't. Sometimes I download stuff and I don't remember where I get it from. But when I see things that are cool, I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm you know, I get drawn in by shiny pennies just like anybody else. But hey, look, I mean, if I can get a brochure already made up for me that's ready to go, and all I got to do is enter my details, I'm like, why am I going to recreate that brochure? Right? I mean, think about it. When there's templates out there, I mean, there's some fantastic templates that all you have to do is just enter your data, your picture, your information, and you're done. Why wouldn't you want to do that, right? Look, all this other stuff inside is really not that critical. Because most people are not going to read it. What's critical is when you give somebody something of value and they see it of value. Doesn't mean that they're going to read it. They're going to appreciate the fact that you left behind something of value that could help them out. And that's what having a brochure like this is all about, is helping somebody that's they're interested in selling. It's a seller's guide on getting their home sold. And, you know, maybe it's something you want to give to a FSBO. I've got somewhere from years past, I've got you know, it was like 45 points to get your home sold by yourself or something to that effect. And I used to send those out to FSBOs all the time. So, you know, when you go to a FSBO, you don't want to solicit them for their listing. You want to give them something of value and try to help them, okay, and show that you're helping them, because when they are ready to hire somebody, you want them to call you. right? So, you know, these are presentations that I made.
I just put a link to a movie that I made in Canva.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to check that out. Check that out here. Did you want us to look at it now?
It's up to you, but I made it pretty directly through Canva and just kind of dropped in a few things. That's about it.
Okay.
I'm just sharing one of the most recent ones.
Well, no, that's cool. That's what we want. So, all right. So these are images. So that you so you uploaded, you created these images, and then you did a share and
That's you. Is that you?
It's my daughter.
Oh, it's your daughter.
well, there's the
You can-
resemblance, right?
You can play it real quick. It's not very long.
Well, it's not giving me the option to play a video. This is just images.
'Cause you're
Oh,
in
really?
Canva.
Yeah, so I guess what you did was you created these images, and then you did a share and you did a download, and you downloaded it as an MP4, right?
I think I
And-
just copied the link, but I guess not.
Well, that's another option too. Let's see. You can
Maybe if you get out of Canva, you can do it and it'll play. I don't
you
know.
can copy link, and
Hit share. Copy link. That's what I.
yeah,
put
so
on
I
there.
copied link. We do this. Let me open up another one. Let me see here and see what that does.
No, you're back in there.
Yeah, and that just brings me back. Oh, wait a minute.
Uh-huh.
Wait, here's a play button. Let's see. Here we go.
All that took timing and a lot of challenges of trying to make it stop right before you go to the any further than that. Keeping your wording there where it disappeared. And this one here, these are videos that are already provided. Those are one of my clients. Those are one of my staff. It's my daughter. Canva with these people that are just blink. I had to cut that short because the kids are like, that's weird. They keep doing that.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very
It's not-
cool.
It's not, perfect, but it's something to throw in there on a
Don't strive for perfection. You know,
Better to get it done.
just get it done. And look, as you do these, each time you'll get better, right? You'll think of, oh, I could have made this better. I could have made that better. It just as like even that the video I created of the market update, I didn't feel like that was anywhere near my best work. But when Valerie looked at it, she had a whole different perspective and said it was fine. And we went ahead and used it. But you're always the biggest critic of your own work. So don't worry about that. Look, you created a video. The video is awesome. The transitions were good. You used some still images and you used some existing video templates, right? That you added to that. And that was all done in Canva, right? You didn't have to import anything or.
No, Canva did had one that was kind of weird where it's a house and it's real pretty and then it goes like that. And you're like, well, that kind of messed up. And then the kids are like, just keep it.
Yeah.
But yes, it's all trial and error. And yes, you can do that for 5 days if you're not careful. Or like you have, Paul, you just seem to be able to know what you want to do fairly quickly.
Yeah, well, and that's only come from I've done so many now, right?
We have to remember it's just a post too. I have to remember that myself.
Right. It is just a post.
It's gone.
Yeah,
That
it's
quickly.
there, and then it's gone. And Yeah, we always want to strive for excellence and do the best work that we possibly can. And that's a wonderful thing, but perfection is just not reachable for most things. And for things like this, that, if you're paying somebody else to do this for you, you can expect a little bit higher, I think, in the results. But when you're trying to do this yourself, and you're also trying to run your business, you're doing this yourself to save yourself some money. And so you can't spend a whole lot of time on it, because you also have to get out there and do your prospecting and do things that are gonna make money, because this really isn't what's making the money, right? This is for ads, this is for posts and that sort of thing, which, helps to generate a following, maybe, create some engagement online,
Mhm.
could lead to eventually a transaction or two down the road. But it's really, it's not something that is an income producing activity to do today. And
Yeah,
so
I would say it's for attraction. I
it
mean,
is for
simple-
attraction. Yeah.
Simply put, it's for attraction. I mean, and I think one of the things I like best about Canva is how easy it is to personalize. So let's say you have a listing, you could make a video like this if you had 5 pictures of this listing, and fairly quickly. And you could use that in your listing presentation, that I'm going to make a video of your house and I'm going to get it out there tomorrow. I mean, honestly, you can just, extension. I mean, I've used Canva for probably 5 years. And in that 5 years, it's gone from being, quite frankly, a brick to being very versatile. So they're constantly adding things, and Paul's gotten farther than me with some of these latest things because he's out there looking for stuff. So, it's worth going in there and playing and seeing what you can do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I shared with you this last week, the video I created, but just from putting images together and some words, and I mean, yeah,
Very nice.
yeah, and
See the most interesting man in the world in there?
we threw that picture in, in hopes of like getting a chuckle out of somebody, right there, because it's not expected, right? You're seeing all these luxury homes and everything, and there we are. That was actually a day we went to the spa at Bella Collina, and so I thought, well, okay, that would be pretty cool, because somebody's like, they're not expecting that, right? And especially if they know me, they'll recognize me, and so because look, people will get lost. So you got to do things that are going to keep them watching the video to the end, right? Because the attention span is so short today. And so it's really important that, I even had this going faster, and Valerie was like, no, I can't, you're losing me because you're going too fast. And so we kind of had to work on this and adjusted, the first slide is at 4 seconds. The next slide is at 3, and then at 3 and 3. So you can adjust right here. You can adjust the timing of each slide. So maybe there's one slide you want to stay just a little bit longer. Okay, you can break that down. You can go to 3.5 seconds. You can go to 4 seconds. We did the final slide. The final slide is up there for 7 seconds because, well, that's our information. So we want that to stick around a little bit longer. And of course, I put the moving hand pointing because that just, that just indicates, yeah, this is still a movie, it's still working. And of course, anything animated is going to be help keep people's attention. So, And again, it's limitless to what you can do with this. The amount of templates, the ways to be able to create this and you know, make it your own is just phenomenal. So, you know, I hope that you guys can put this. Oh, Jen Charisse, good to see you on here. And since you didn't have the video on, I couldn't even tell that you were part of the call this morning, but thanks for being here.
Yeah, I shared a link in there for you guys too, that we also have a class that Nikki from our marketing team teaches. So if you guys ever want to check that out, I shared that link with you guys in the chat.
Yeah, please do share it in the chat. I also, in the Do Crew, I had in the Facebook group, I did put a link to a Canva for real estate group that you should probably join, and you'll get a lot more tips and tricks from there as well. People posting different things, and they post examples, and look, I mean, I don't know. I see templates all the time. People posting templates saying, "Hey, here's some templates. Go ahead and use it," type of thing. And so when you have a template, you can very easily make that template your own. You can change the colors to be your branded colors and all that. And then, you know, you're not starting from scratch, because the hardest thing is starting from scratch, trying to lay it all out and figure it out. It's like, oh, you know, look, that's not the business we're in, right? We're in the business of selling real estate, but we need to do the marketing part in addition to, and if you're not paying somebody to do it for you, then that means you need to do it. You need to figure out what tools you can use. It's going to be the quickest and simplest way to do it without breaking the bank and without taking you, you know, loads of time to be able to get it done.
I noticed yesterday, there was a mortgage broker that I know, and he's invited me to, you know, take my listing, for example, and put it, and I'll create a beautiful, you know, landing page, and I'll have both of our logos and information on it. And they're like, that's great. But then they, and he's not the only one. There's several now that are brewing. I think it's fairly new, but maybe it's not, where they're already providing you many templates. So you could download them, and that's a good point, and upload them into Canva and make them more of your own as well. So, but they're also adding an opportunity to send out postcards directly through the mortgage brokers program. Use it as a CRM, use it as an email campaign. I'm like, that's pretty bold, and they're trying to, you know, provide you with that much information or services right from the mortgage broker.
Yeah, so you can partner up with you know, these ancillary services and be able to, you know, utilize the systems and tools that they have in place. That, you know, when you partner with them, you know, they're happy to do that, and it just adds to your artillery of marketing that you can use, and there's things that they'll do for you. So,
and Jen
you know,
Charisse has been very helpful for us. She's helped us with some postcards and some data mining. So.
Has anyone done any postcards through Canva yet?
Yes.
Yeah, Valerie's created postcards, and you know, it was just the image, right? And then we transfer that over to a different postcard service. But we've actually ordered things through Canva where we created brochures or flyers, and Canva printed and shipped them to us. So their printing service is great. I think that, if I remember, the brochures were pretty reasonably priced too, Val, right?
Yeah, they're fine. They weren't, you don't have the same choices as like a Vistaprint, where, you know, the quality, you don't have as many choices as, you know, matte versus, I mean, there's some choices, but just not as many. But, you know, they were fine. They were absolutely fine, and the price was good.
Yeah, well, they really weren't known to be a printing company, right? Vistaprint is all about printing. Canva is all about creating, and so, you know, Canva is expanding, so maybe their printing department will expand in the future as well and create, you know, more opportunities, more ways to do things. But I mean, what you can do is, it seems to be endless, and they just keep doing more and adding more, and so you know, if you start using it, I mean, you're just going to be able to grow with the program and be able to just have your marketing done. It's really important that, you know, like I've gotten to the point where I dislike social media so much, but it's an important part of our business. And so now I've just got all these. That's why I was like, wow, I can get, a few hundred posts already made for me. All I just got to do is brand it to me. I mean, great, I'm in. And I've got, I've also got memes from John Maxwell, and I've been trying to use the Photify program, but I'm hating that, from NAR. It's just not, I don't find it to be very user friendly. So it's simple, it's easy, but yet it's so convoluted just to get one post out there. So you got to do what works for you. But for me, I've downloaded all these memes, and now I've got a library of memes that I can rotate through. And I go to my program, my database has the ability to post social media. So I just go ahead and put everything in there. And I'm trying to get into the habit of scheduling out for like the whole month ahead of me, and just have it go automatic each day, and just have it be done for me. And then what I might do is go in and then, when I check on it in the morning, just share it to like the groups that I operate. So, because it's just, we've got several different pages, and so it's just trying to keep it all together. We got 2 Instagram, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different Facebook pages, and then 2 groups, and so it's just, it gets a little hairy trying to keep up with all of that. And I really, I feel like it is important to have that presence out there in social media. But I don't feel like that's not where we're getting our business from, other than, the ads that we've been running, which that one, video that I showed you, that's going to be our next coming ad. I'm hoping have a meeting this afternoon, hopefully get that all straightened out with my funnel, and then I can start running that ad for home evaluations, and start getting some seller leads. So.
Very nice. I'm about ready to start merging some of my social media accounts together. It's just too much.
Yeah, it is a lot. In the way that, Facebook changed things recently. And so, when you go in, like I go into my main page, and I see all the notifications, but I'm seeing more notifications for the other pages. But then for me to go to what they're notifying me for, it then switches my profile. And it's just, it gets really, really confusing and a bit hairy, bouncing back and forth. And I've also learned that if you go to use like a Photify app, or another one that we've been using from a title company, it was like, okay, when I go to upload to Facebook, it's like, oh, what was the last login? When I had it on my phone, was I on the VIP home team page, or was I on my profile? Because that's where it's posting, and that's it. You can't change that. So you have to go back in, make sure you're logged in properly before you can make the post to the page that you want to make the post to. And it's just, that's, to me, that's just like too much. So I get a little frustrated with trying to use those 2 apps on my phone. But
I agree. This whole thing is like, I'm starting to post in my community Facebook group under my business, profile, but you really can't see until after you post. I just did that under my business. Now I need to delete it and then do it again.
Yeah.
It's getting really difficult. You're right. I thought it was just me.
No, it's hard. And as soon as you figure it out, I swear to God, there's a planned obsolescence with Facebook. As soon as you figure it out, they change it. So it's like every 16, 18 months, you can depend upon whatever you've learned is not going to work. So you got to relearn it.
Yeah. All right, guys, we've surpassed the top of the hour, but anybody else have any last minute contributions here, or questions, suggestions? You want me to
reach out to you guys later on?
Yeah, that's fine. Look, anytime anybody wants to reach out, please do. Happy to discuss any of these things. Do you want me to take a little deeper dive into YouTube next week? I know we did the intro last week, but now that we've got Canva down, there's a lot to know about YouTube, how it operates and how to get yourself set up. So I'm happy to run through that and take some time, because I think, videos are definitely the wave of the future. YouTube is growing like gangbusters, and it's not going to stop. It's run and owned by Google. And so, videos are showing up when people search for things. You're seeing choices of videos that are, popping up. So if you have a thumbnail that's catchy and you are fortunate enough to be, a good SEO, and you come up on that page, there's a good chance somebody's going to click on you. And I know that we've gotten some organic results just with the little bit that we've done. It does take some time. You have to grow that over time, but you start now, and a year from now, you'll be looking back thinking, oh my God, I'm so glad I did that. So we'll go ahead and take a little deeper dive into YouTube next week then, and show you what else you can do with that. All right.
Well, thank you. Be safe, everybody.
All right, guys, take care, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Paul,